Okay, Taf Resh Nun Hey, and let me get zeroed in a little bit better. So this is, he says, because this is supposed to be called Siman Ches, and I find this, that what he's about to say in this little blurb up at the top is really completely different than what he was talking about before. He says, the Tansha Ha'aretz Desha, so that phrase. Then he has another phrase, V'anisem es nafshasechem. So Tansha Ha'aretz Desha, that's one thing. So now come down into the blurb, and he says, yes, I can't read it. Tadja, okay, there we go. Tadja of Zoon. Tadja refers to the Iver of Zoon. Tadja, right? Is that they're coming into the embryonic stage. Nisam ein zivug, and as a result of their positioning, there's no yichud. Number base. Here's another idea. Tadja of the tshuva. The word tadja really refers to doing tshuva, which I'm assuming is Maim Nukvin. I don't know. Nisim. They're also ein zivug. So, in other words, coming back. I don't know what actually means tshuva over here. Next number, with number 3, he says tadshe. When you say the word tadshe, it means dormita. V'anisem lo'orer hamochin. In order what? He says tadshe is shena in order to arouse the mochin. Needs some explanation how Tadsha, which is Dormita, goes over to the Ora Hamochin. Let's see, number Daled. Tadsha Zivug, the word Tadsha here means Zivug, the Bereshis, the Yichud that took place at the beginning of creation. V'anisem is Zivug, the Yom Kippurim, refers to what takes place at the Yom Kippurim. And again, I'm not sure what he meant by Bereshis over there. Hopefully we'll find out more. Number Hey is Tadsha, is Yud Gimel, it refers to the Yud Gimel Tikuni Dikna. V'anisem, so the Nisem, the concept of Nisem, is tshuva. So what you have was the Yud Gimel Tikuni Dikna, and then what would be tshuva there? Tshuva, once again, is coming back, or from the bottom to the top. Tadsha Aseres Yimei Tshuva, so he says Tadsha refers to the 10 days of repentance. V'anisem is Slicha, is being forgiven. Another phrase, Tadsha is Ivor Tesha Tikuni Dikna, is the Ivor, and this is completely off of my radar here. The Ivor are the gestation of there's in other words, he's saying there's a gestation period for the Tesha Tikuni Dikna, which would be from Zeranpin. Nisam is where he's actually born out. Number Ches, he says Desha is Din Shalom Emes, is Din. Ted Dacha is the notricon for these words, Din, Shalom, and Emes. And he said particularly B'Yom HaKippurim. So again, Be'erev Yom HaKippurim. So exactly what does he mean there? I'm not sure. Tzioni Marai Makomos. So then there's also, I guess, Marai Mazmar Makomos. He said there's some way of showing us where these things are coming from, or these ideas. Let's look at let's look over here. And it says, Tadsha Ivor Zun V'anisem Ein Zivug. That's the first idea. So he says again, Lashon the Sifra to the Yutzakan, V'yormer Elokim Tadsha Ha'aretz Desha Eziv Mazriya Zera Eitz Pri, all of those words. Hainu dechsev v'anisem es nafshosechem. That is to say that if we have this phrase, and you should afflict your souls, b'teisha the chodesh be'erev, meaning starting at erev Yom Kippurim ad kan. What is he talking about here? He says v'yesh the vayir kan tarti. There's 2 things you have to know. Chadad ma inyan ma'ber b'tadsha ha'aretz desha. What's this talking about? And second one, and then there's something else, where we had previously in the previous sentence, I guess it is. He says, which had to do with the 13th tikuni of the dikna, he said, Ma inyan ma'ber tadshech of the pasuk of Anisam. What does tadshech have to do with Anisam? Well, we saw some ideas on that. And we're going to say all of these words There's going to be a lot to be said about that, and it looks like it'll be very rich. So we'll see. So Bir Rishon Rei B'Bir Hamashula the Fiorizal Shenis Bayer Kan Al Pi Sharmai Mari Rashbi Kan, and he says the Divrei Sifra Tzniuta Kan Hu Maimer Chodosh. This is something completely new. Veinu Shaykh the Maimer HaKodim. It's not talking about the 13 Tukuni Dikna, the Verik Anpen and Bina and all that. Ella la'achar shasayim levayer inyan yud gimel tikuni dikna the erekanpen the chayzich of the vayer inyan iber zer v'nuk. Now I come back. We're going to talk about something different. Hamuver beperik hakoydim yisach beklal v'atach the void bepratos, and so that talked about it in general. Now we're going to talk about it specifically. Behidach b'mayim tadshach aretz desha. That phrase, Eirich be'iver zer v'nuk. So that's what it's talking about. It's the yichud that takes place, or no, excuse me, it doesn't say yichud. Ira be'ivor, the gestation, zer v'nuk b'mei ima, in the womb of ima. The zera v'tadshach aretz desha. So that their creation or their appearance there is that concept. Shaha aretz al yoyna shehi bina tis aver b'socha as zer v'nuk anikrayim desha. So we had this idea a little bit before. So now we could see three different things that are going to be talked about in this pasuk. Gimel and Yanim and Logim the Iver. One is Be'ez ha'Iver lo choye zer v'nuk shleimin. Ki adayim choye ketani kekarnich agavim. V'lechein lo ame yehi esev mazriya zera. So therefore it doesn't say that let it be esev mazriya zera. Ki yehi hu lashon shleimus. Okay, we saw this boku in the introduction. Be'esa iver number 2. He said be'esa iver hanukva kodemis lezer anpin again. Beso du partsufim du, which is the dalet comes first, and then the vav. Which is also the concept which we said before of dividing into two, because du means two, and it used to be just a hey, now it's a dal and a vav. So therefore the pasuk comes right away and it says eitz pri shuhu hanukva lifnei osa pri, before we have that idea shuhu zer anpen number gimel. Kevin shahanukva chikim ma'al zer anpen, since she's up above zer anpen, besod du the dalan before the vav, ein zivug the zer v'nuk ki hanukva ola lebina. Now that's all really talking greatly about what we stuffed in the intro. Okay, going on. He said, Rabihine, Alzecha Yinin Ashlishi, Amra Besifra Ditzanilta. What is the Inyan Ashlishi? So they're not able to make a yichud. He said, So this is the reason why we say at that time. Now we're getting once again back to the Yom Kippur and the Seres Yimei Tshuva. So it says over there on the Erev Yom Kippur, V'anisem v'nafshel seichem be'erev. Ki shas ha'ivor hu dugmas Yom Kippurim. There's analogy there. They're similar, or they're metaphoric each other. So again, the time of gestation is similar to Yom Kippurim. Sha nukva olav lebechinas bina. That nukva goes up to the bechinas bina. Now, I have a problem with this idea, and I'm hoping for more elucidation, because it seemed to me like when he said the word desha, that concept was planting the nukva and the male and the zohar into the womb. Now he comes over here and he says, "Ki shas ha'ibur ku kedugmas Yom Kippurim shachan nukva ola the bechinas bina," but she just came down. That's my question. Seems like she just came out of bina and is now into that, but now going back up. Vein zivug the zeranpin v'nukva. So since she's attached back to her mother again, and we have all of these ideas about how the dormita, we went through all of that, about how the nukva and bina are attached. So therefore it says, and you have to afflict yourself. What is affliction? Shuhusod isur tashme samita. That's the kind you can't live together at that time. You can't have that possibility. Okay, so more, we have a little bit on that idea already, and let's go to the next one. Tadsha tshuva. So here's the one that says when we say the word tadsha, which I thought was previously the idea was placing zohar v'nuk in the womb. That's what I thought it meant. Tadsha tshuva, it means return, going to tshuva. V'anisim ein zivug, and then that tshuva, whatever that tshuva means, there's going to be no zivug as a result of it. Now, what is this? Malchus going to be again? Bir base, Reba or Yakar. What does or Yakar? Usually fairly difficult to understand what he's saying. Let's see what he says here. Shabir Kanda Divir Sifra to the Nutzakan, the Snuznakan, Hem Hemshech Lemaimer Abakoidim. It's a continuation of the previous mimer. Shabiyom Kaborim Misgaba or Yud Gimel Tikuni Dikna. Okay, we like that. Behind the Fidarko La'el, like we said previous up above. Shabaseris you made Tshuva. Haim of Bechinas Dinim. There's a concept of Dinim here. Uviyom Kippurim as Niftach Bebina Yud Gimel Shari Rachamim. So we had that he did the 10 days of Kabina are times of Dinim, and now everything is opening up like that. Ein Sham Ba'oreh. So he says Lefi Zechah Bebir on Maimed Tadsha. So now we have the word Tadsha. So what do we do with it? Tadsha Haaretz Dasha. The tshuva, it's really talking about tshuva. What is the tshuva is that we're pleading before God, or it's a time of din. The pasuk is really talking about malchus, the and malchus was really just dried up. So siluk hashevach of the dinim, that the shefa all left her, and the din. Well, somebody says dinim, I think maybe means the gevuros. I'm not sure. He said, but siluk hashevach of dinim, and she's all dried up. But now she changes, and we change from the concept of malchus being yavesh to becoming malchus is now an eretz. Shemotzi and desha that has the ability to produce seed, to produce fruit or plants. Esa Desha, Esa Mazriya Zera, that is the Mazriya Zera, all of that concept is a concept of Yichud, beside Neshamos Ayin Sham, which has to do with Neshamos. That's a little bit mysterious there. One more time, then let me just read it again so I can try to understand it. He says, let me get it back up here. He says, "Ki pasuk zecha be'ayrecha b'malchus." This pasuk is talking about malchus. The hoysel mekodah bebechinas yevesher besod siluk hashefa v'dinim, because she lost her shefa and her dinim, which are gevuros. V'atach b'chazav v'naasis eretz, but now comes back and she's become fertile again. Shemotzi and desha, that she's able to bring out plant life. Esav mazrio, that can reproduce. Zera b'sod neshamos, which is a concept in neshamos, and that's that word neshamos, which I'm not sure about. So let's go over to number Aleph and see if we can't understand this a little bit better. One second. So he said, Reba or Yakar, he said, V'zel Shana, V'yomer Elokim Tadje, V'inyin Zecha V'pirish, Rashbi, all of Shana, B'tikunim, and the ways he says, Zel Shana, V'yomer Elokim Tadje, Haaretz Desha. So the Zohar goes like this, Amar Rebbe Lazar, Abba, V'chal Kra Lo Yava, Kara Lo Yavasha. He says, you got it dried up. So he says, I think I've got this Kra Lo Yavasha. Umay Tadshach Areth Desha. So what does it mean? She's going to bring fruit, plant life. Amalei Bari, he said, Marie, let me tell you what. He says, Hacha Olfi Tiyuvdach of the Kol B'nai Alma. I'm going to teach you or learn something like that. An answer to Tiyuvta, I think means Tshuva here, the Kol B'nai Alma. De'im Bar Nash Chaza B'Tiyuvta, that if a person does Tshuva, Nachis La Nevia De Istalek, comes back to that person, the flow that left him. And what it used to be dried up and there was nothing left in it, I guess. No water in it. Now it's called the land, earth. So what it was originally, Chara v'yavesh, now you're going to call it a mikvah mayim. It's full of pure water. Kan mora, Mora Torah Derek Tshuva L'Kol B'nei Olam. So wants to say how this will work. She'im ha'adam v'choyzera b'teshuva. Oz machzir of the malchus as nevias hashefa shenistalak memen. A masha choisach of the malchus nikras makom yavasha. It was one yavesh. It was dried up. Hinach ma'adach be nikras eretz. So this idea they want to play with here. So b'masha shahanachar shuhu hayisod. Now you have the nar, which is the yisod. Hoyacharev v'yavesh mechashefa. So he kind of worked that phraseology out better. This is what it writes of. So now we call the dried up areas aretz. Bahaku zimna de iskre eretz. So then once it's called land, then we say come over here and we say that Elokim can call plants to grow into it. So it's a growing field. To bring out Zrayim, V'avin, and fruits. Now again, whenever he mentions the word nishmasim, so I have to really think, what exactly does that mean? We see that over in the Tivuk Avanos too. At that time, when Malchus does Shuva, she becomes called Eretz again. So therefore it says then the Aretz can be Tadshe. The Hotzias Rayim Upeiros Besod Hotzos the Shamas, which is the same thing. So we want to say that it's bringing out the Neshamas Kedushos called Achaz the Mina, each one of them. Of course, we have over there, like in the Shar Kavanis, where he's talking about, I think we'll see that maybe it's a Shem soon, he's talking about what it means actually to be Neshamas Kadashos, or the Mechadish Neshamos. Exactly what do those phrases mean? Here he says, Lahotzis Royim Uperos Besod Hotzos the Shamas Kedushas, to bring out the Kedusha. I'm just using the word Neshamos now for myself to think of it means Penemius, connection, greater connection to the Ein Sof. Called Achaz the Mina. Ad kan l'shonda the Inyanenu. So up until this point is the language that we need for our Inyan. Horaki b'maymer b'zecha b'hu inin tshuva. That the whole mimer here is talking about tshuva, and be able to turn what was dried out into something which is a mikveh. Shekodem ko yevesha hamalchus yevasha hamalchus. He pronounces yevasha hamalchus besod hadin. His stalkos a shefa, and the fact that the shefa left is of achakach amataja besod tshuva, which means it coming back again. And once again, he doesn't say exactly. I guess it is. I guess maybe he did. Maybe saying exactly it is our tshuva that causes this to reverse. So then he has just a little bit more, and he says, Rei ba'or yakar l'cholon hivizel l'shona b'toch devara v'zech b'mam zech v'yomer alokim taj ha'aretz dasha. So he's talking about Or Yakar again. Is a Gemara al Giloy Hanekeva Kohoseho, which what does that mean? He is the revelation of the powers of the Nukva, Besod Eretz, in the fact that what can the Nukva do? That if the Nukva is fertilized, or she's in Yichud with Zeranpen, or I'm not sure what he means exactly, but he says that she has the power to be able to produce Dasha, because she becomes Eretz. Achahi Yusi Yavasha, after she was already dried out, Besod Yavasha. Adkan. V'rei l'cholon, da-da-da-da. A little bit more. Let's see, 607. 607 minus 25, 7 minus 25. Because it's another piece coming up, and it's going to be nice. So I could do let's just read the top then. Just read the top in the time that we have. But the Zech v'masig ba'or yakar, I think, is that where we're at? Yeah. V'lezech v'masig ba'or yakar shom v'zel l'shon v'hainu oimram v'hanisem es nafsho secha b'teisha d'chodesh. V'mama shekavo l'haver b'pasuk zehu. So what's the kavana bringing this pasuk? Ki inu yom kippurim mora al habina really teaches you about bina. Why? And he says on the 9th day of the month. Mora al teisha tikuni digna dezer anpen. Well, this takes some explanation. We'll see it real cool. We'll see it again next time. Va'anu ma'anim atzmeno. So we have an inui for ourselves. Neged ma shehi. Where are we here? that is the Malchus Yevesha, because of the fact that she's dried up. We're going to dry ourselves up. So the language is that there should be revealed the whole complete 13 tikkun. We have to become empty, apparently, which is our aspect of tshuva, maybe. She is galacha yud gimel b'teishach zer anpen, that now the 9 tikkunim of the dikna of zer anpen becomes 13. It's tzedeket tifrishna ad kan b'ayin v'ayin sham sha'arek od b'bir l'shonas a pasuk rei b'ha'aros. There's more on this, which we will get to next time.